Hey YouTube, what's happening? It's your brother, the Hebrew Jamaican Coolie, and I'm back again with another video. So, in this video, I want to talk about why I don't believe in 50-50, in doing 50-50 with my wife, or why I don't believe that we should really have the concept of doing 50-50. And I'm not going to be here to insult any man that really says that they do 50-50 with their wife. I don't agree with it, and it's not something I would do. You understand? And I'm going to present the points of why I don't believe in doing it and why I don't do it right now. So let's start with, if two people are doing 50-50, if a wife and a husband are doing 50-50, that means that they have to go out there and both work, right? We don't know the hours that they're both working, but let's say they're both working the same amount of hours. All right, let's say they're working about the same amount of hours. Now, let's say they both come home about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Work finishes at 5, but because of traffic, whatever it is, they come home by 7 o'clock together. Who's gonna cook? Right? Because both are tired. Who's gonna cook? Right? What if the house is super messy? Who's gonna clean up the house? Are they both gonna clean up the house when they're both tired? Alright? Who's going to take care of the children? Daycare is not cheap. Daycare is quite expensive. Daycare is extremely expensive. So, who is going to take care of the children if the both of you are working to take care of the bills? And now that it's 50-50, what 50 does the husband do and what 50 does the wife do? Which 50 side of the bills does the husband take care of, and which side of the 50 of the other bills does the wife take care of? Is it 50-50 on the mortgage? Is it 50-50 on the electricity? Is it 50-50 on all the other amenities? Light, water, cable, gas? Is it 50-50 on all of those things? It's just a question. And like I said before, the reason why I don't believe in it, or the reason why I don't do it, is because, I need my wife home to take care of our children. A stay-at-home mother, stay-at-home wife, is not an easy job. It's not. A lot of people make it look easy. A lot of people make it look like it's wrong or lazy or whatever it is. It's not. It's not. Taking care of a home where children, every 5 minutes they're throwing things everywhere, it's not an easy task. Feeding bottomless pits that are in a child's stomach is not an easy task. It's not. It's just not easy. You understand what I'm saying? So, in society, we're starting to look down upon the stay-at-home moms, the same generation that basically raised most of us. You understand? The same generation that raised us. You understand what I'm saying? We're looking down on them as if there's something wrong with it now. As if for generations this is not how society was, survived. As a matter of fact, it's this new generation that nothing seems to be working out with. We tell women, be independent, don't need a man, and society is failing because of that. Gaining monetary resources and getting up on the corporate ladder doesn't mean that you're super successful, because at the end of the day you can't take any of that with you. And that even leads to a video I wanted to make, reaching out to women who are told, go out there, go get your bag, don't have a family, don't care, all of that stuff can come later. The lies that you were told, which is not true, right? It's very rare that a man of very good and well means are going to take a woman who is older and infertile and set in her ways and bitter. You understand? Because guess what? A younger girl is just a little bit more attractive. That's it. You understand? And you're not going to be even showing up on these guys' orbits. So, I don't want to lead off into anything, but, let me tell you something. When you're old, you can barely walk, you're in an old people's home, it don't matter if you're male or female, there are going to be younger people who are going to be able to take advantage of you. All that sass that you give society when you reach a certain age, if you give a certain person that sass, they may just abuse you. And that's the last thing that you want. To be in a home where not even the children want to be with you. And this goes for male and female. Male and female. You don't want to be in a home where, people, strangers, are basically abusing you. I see a lot of people in society that basically throw away their parents. They pay for them to be, in those homes. I'm not saying that those homes are well-meaning, but it's like you're kind of spiritually, mentally, emotionally, those people die from that. You understand what I'm saying? Anyway, back to the topic at hand, which is why I don't do 50-50. The reason why I don't do 50-50 is because I do believe that responsibility in the marriage belongs to the man. I do believe that. I honestly do believe that. And I honestly understand men, and I say it again, I am not dumping on any man that basically say that women are out there are not behaving in the way that a woman should behave. I agree. Again, I 100% agree with that. I've seen it, I've experienced it, but I chose to refuse to give up on women. Black, white, it won't matter. Now, this it is, right? I don't believe any man should get married broke. You can get married and then life happens. It happens to everybody. Trials, tribulations, problems happens to everyone. Your marriage is going to go through a lot of trials. You understand? And you might end up being broke. You might end up struggling together. I don't listen. Whenever you hear women talking about struggle, love, and this and that, and blah, 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 blah. This is what their family went through, and blah, 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 blah. Okay, where are you? Where is your man? Where is your marriage? Where is your worth to any man as a woman? You see, you have all these women always out there running their mouths, touting nonsense, speaking a lot of venom and toxicity, but yet still they have nothing to show. Nothing to show for their lives. Right? Some of them even behave as if, they're all this accomplished person, and they don't have any accomplishments. No, not one accomplishment in their life. All right, so I would advise people to stay clear of very toxic conversations, whether it's on the male side or the female side. Try to avoid certain conversations that is going to lead to disunity between men and women. That's something important that we should be really focused on. Trying to unify the sexes. You understand? So we can breed some more. Anyway, back to the topic. So, what I'm talking about is, for me, if my wife chooses to go to work, right, I would basically limit the hours she would work. I would say, hey, honey, don't get something that would take you out of the house all day. You understand? Everybody could always use a little income. That's okay. But truth be told, if your wife work, have her put down the money for a rainy day. Save towards, if you don't own a home, allow her to work and save her money as an emergency fund. As if, like, say, okay, let's say one day you were out of work for like a week because you got sick, or you got sick from COVID, and you were out of work for 2 weeks, so you never get, enough money to pay all the bills, but you were able to pay the car note and pay the rent. But light, water, cable, and other amenities are basically not gonna be paid for. Well, since your wife does a little bit of work and you guys have that little bit saved up in the account, just use that little bit. Use it for something that's important. When you need a new car, when your wife working, don't let her pay any bills. Let her put her money down. Because I can guarantee you, your wife will look all over the house and notice that there are things that she needs. Or she will hear you talking about needing something, a certain tool, a certain pipe or something to fix in the house. And then, she'll realize that, oh, she has a little bit of extra if your bank accounts are linked and you're seeing what's coming in, then that money that your wife is bringing in is just basically emergency money. You can use that money to pay for clothes for the children. You can use that money to, whenever you want to go on vacation, things like that. But I wouldn't do no 50-50 with my wife. You understand? And I don't believe in this, his money is my money and my money is my money. No. My money is your money and your money is my money. Or my money is our money and your money is our money. That's what I believe in. Because if the two really and truly become one flesh, why would you separate the resources of the family and pedestalize yourself as a woman to say that the resources mainly belong to you? That's a stupid and toxic concept. And it's always these beluga whales that always talking this nonsense. Women that men don't even basically talk to. It's always these ugly whales that are always running their mouths like this. Right? And I'm being honest about that. It's always some ugly, big beluga whale, land whale, that's always talking like that. You understand? And everybody know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the one with the mustache. You know what I'm talking about. That big heifer. Anyway, back to the 50-50. So, when I met my wife worked for Penn Medicine. And I was working 2 jobs. So I was basically making more than my wife. And even so, once we started moving together, before we even got married, I took care of the rent, the light, the water, and half of the internet. And she took care of the internet, and if the cars needed, and just started to save her money. Unfortunately, when she got pregnant, she got this thing called hyperemesis gravidarum, which caused her to leave work early. She had to resign from her job and stuff. And then at that point in time, I wasn't even ready to take on the responsibility, but I had to because I was actually switching one of my jobs. I was moving to a new job and stuff, and I wasn't ready. But because the idea that we had was that she would work up until it's time to give birth, and then we would just save the money. We would save the money and use it for any expenses incurred after the baby was born. You understand what I'm saying? So, before we got married, and this is one thing that people need to do, you need to go to either marriage counseling, or you need to sit down and have these conversations with your significant other before you get married. Before we got married, I sat down my wife, I sat her down, and I said, hey, listen, this is what I want our marriage to be. I told her that, I am going to go out there and I am going to work my butt off to make sure that you don't have to work, right? And to take care of our daughter. You understand what I'm saying? And I said to her, because I don't want my daughter in daycare. Not only because daycare is expensive, but it's just because I just don't trust anybody. I just don't trust anybody. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't want my daughter in daycare. And even now, even though she's a little bit older, we're homeschooling her. We're not sending her to public school or private school and stuff like that. You know, we're homeschooling her. So, anyway, guys, that's my thoughts on why I don't believe in doing 50-50 with my wife. Conclusion, you know, if both of you are doing 50-50 and both of you are working just as hard, and you both have like you guys have 4 children together, or even 2 children together, or 1 child together, those are the problems that may arise. Like, you know, who takes care of the child, how much money you guys have to make, because you have to make a certain amount. You know, how to go and split the bills 50-50, who pays what, who does what housework, who does the cooking, who does anything else. So, you know, that's just my perspective on it. Shalom. Peace. This is the Hebrew Jamaican Coolie. I'm out.